So I recently purchased the Oculus Quest 2 after I went over to a friend's house and she had one and I tried it on. I'd never tried a VR headset before. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be kind of cool. And I went from having a very blah attitude towards the thing to about 2 minutes into wearing it saying, I don't care what this fucking thing costs. I want one in my life. I have to have one. Give the fucking thing to me. So I stole hers, and that's that. No. I went out, and I luckily got a Quest 2, the 200 plus gig, 256 gig one at Walmart. Just so happened to have two of them at my Walmart here in, Cottonwood. And I brought that shit home, and guys, holy shit. The loading menu is what sold me on the thing, and I thought that was cool. But then I got the Blair Witch game, and I got the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners game, and I got Vader Immortal, and I got Beat Saber, and there's a few other things on there as well, but I played all of those, and let me tell you, guys, this thing is fucking insanity. It's indescribable. I can't oversell the thing. Okay, like the really interesting one was the Blair Witch, because I've played the Blair Witch on a flat screen, right? So I'm very familiar with the game in what I know is the current form of gaming, which is flat screen. It's a three-dimensional world, but it's on a flat screen. So I know the game. I played it. I played a good amount of it. I didn't beat it, but I did play a good amount of it. So I know the game pretty damn well. Throwing the Oculus on and playing the Blair Witch was surreal. It was fucking insane. Because I wasn't just playing the game. I was fucking in it. And so, like, the opening, I didn't get to play too much of it. Just the opening title screen for the game is like you in a basement. And you're just like, it took me like 20 minutes to fucking, like, press start on the game. Actually, maybe 10 minutes to press start on the game because I was too busy wandering around in that basement, just looking at everything, looking at the TV, looking at the couch, looking at all this stuff. I was floored by this. I felt like I was in somebody's basement. And then you kind of like take off the glasses and you're like, what the fuck? And then you put them back on and you're just looking around and you're like, I'm in someone's basement. And this thing tracks your movement perfectly. You put your hands up, you have hands in front of you. You're holding controllers, but you have hands in front of you and you move the buttons and it moves the fingers. And it's so immersive. And I've had a few instances where I have had like these moments in gaming where like Atari to Nintendo was this whole different leap of like, holy shit, there can be actual like characters on the screen. It doesn't just have to be dots. I remember that when I was a little kid and was like, holy shit, this is so cool. What an upgrade, right? Then it was from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, that kind of stuff, to PlayStation 1 when Metal Gear Solid came out, and I was like, holy shit, games don't just have to be people jumping over things or shooting guns at things. These can have stories. These could actually be like playable stories, interactive stories, movies, so to speak. And that changed my entire perspective of video games from there. And I feel like from there, it's just been graphical changes. It's just been like, graphics have been better and better and better. And I hadn't really had that jump again until I put on the Quest. And then I felt like, holy shit, this is a whole new level that I never really imagined before outside of seeing something like Ready Player One or something. Which is, I'm telling you right now, after wearing this thing, we're not 10 to 15, 20 years away from Ready Player One. Like, we're not that far from it. Like, where they're at right now, they're not far from fucking Ready Player One. I'm not shitting you. Within like 15, 20 years, you'll maybe even sooner. It's crazy how realistic this shit is. Like, okay, so the Blair Witch game was mind blowing because I'm out in the woods and I'm like walking up to these cars and I'm walking around with my dog and I lean down and I pet my dog and he's all getting into it as I pet him behind the ear, under the fucking collar, everything. The dog's very responsive to anywhere I'm touching him. Fucking crazy. Just crazy. And you're just running through the woods and you pull out your fucking flashlight and your camera and you're just holding these things and you're looking at them and everything just moves correctly and you're looking around, there's trees everywhere and the trees have, the trees feel solid and they fucking look real, and then you're looking around at the sky and the trees. Does it look like photorealistic? Does it look like, actual life? No, it doesn't. It looks like a fantasy world, right? It looks like how a video game would look, but as if you were in. Imagine your favorite game right now that you're playing, some next gen console thing, and you're just walking around in there. Like if you just turn around and everything around you. You know what game would rule in this? Would be that Friday the 13th game where one character is Jason and the other ones are counselors. Fucking please make that into this VR. I will buy that for sure. But then I played Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and I thought Blair Witch was cool. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners was $40 fucking dollars, and it was worth every penny 10 times over. This was fucking crazy. You have a knife on your belt, you have a gun on your other side of your belt, you have a flashlight up here, you have a notebook here, you have a backpack over this shoulder, you have your axe or whatever fucking weapon over this shoulder, and you're going in and you're walking through this graveyard at night in fucking in New Orleans, and it's so unbelievably immersive. You take your knife out, the zombie comes up to you, you put your hand on its head to hold it back, and then you stab him in the fucking head and you rip it out. And then when he's on the ground, you can lean down, you can play with his face and push his body around, and it's unfucking believable. I cannot tell you until you put this thing on. I put it on my father, I put it on my father's best friend, I put it on my brother, I put it on his girlfriend, I put it on my kids, I put it on my fucking father, who thinks video games are for morons. He thinks that video games are the waste of time, that they're bullshit, this and that. I put that thing on him, and within a minute, he was just like, this is the future. And this is exactly what these are my sentiments exactly. This is the future. He was blown away. And when I told him that they're going to put a camera in an NFL stadium and that he'll be able to be like, front row at the Super Bowl with this thing on and it'll look like he's at the fucking game live, he was like, whoa, really? Maybe I should get one of these. Because when he put it on for a minute and he was just like, this is fucking insane. I feel like I'm here. And it blew his mind. And he didn't even do anything interesting. He didn't go into any game or anything. He was just doing the first steps or whatever. Guys, if you get the chance, please, I implore you to check this thing out. If you find a friend who has one, if you feel hesitant to drop the money. But they're cheap. I mean, maybe to you they might not be cheap. I'm not here to talk about your financial situation or whatever. But for what it is, it's cheap. Okay, you can get a 64 gig Oculus Quest 2 that's completely fucking standalone to itself. It's a completely independent model. It does not need to be plugged into a computer. It doesn't have to have a cord on it. Anything. For $299. $299. I think that is a steal and a half. And some of the games are, they range between 10 and up to 40. 40 is the highest game I've seen, Walking Dead, which is, if you're going to get any game, that's the one I'm going to recommend. It's fucking phenomenal. Any Walking Dead fans, any zombie fans, any horror game fans, anything. The only downside of the Oculus that I have found so far, and for me it's a fairly big one, is the battery life. The battery life is atrocious. I did read somewhere that if you alter certain settings on it, it can improve the battery life. So I'll look into that. But right now, fully charged battery, seems to be lasting about 2 to 2.5 hours. This is nowhere near enough. It should be at least 5. So that's a little rough. But the amount of shit you can do on this thing the potential is limitless. And I could go on for a fucking hour just talking about all the things I think you could do on this thing. Education. Education's the one that makes me the most excited. Imagine popping your kid in their room. And then they're like, oh, it's time to go to class. And they pop on their fucking headset and they're in a classroom. And then the teacher's in there. The kids are all in there with them. They're chatting. They're laughing. They're having fun. You know, the teacher's telling them about this. He's fucking telling them about ancient Rome. He's telling them about the Old West. He's telling them about this. And then he's like, come with me, kids. And he walks them through ancient Rome. And he's actually teaching them things. And they're grabbing things. And they're interacting with things. And imagine teaching math in that environment. Imagine teaching, you know, all sorts of different things. They could build buildings in class. They could fucking sit there and work on, you know, architecture. They could work on anything. They could fucking build up entire skyscrapers in front of themselves. Them and their friends could run around and playtime, and they could go and they could make anything happen. They could be blowing up fucking things. They could do anything they want. And then it's like, hey guys, it's dinner time. And then the kids pop off their headsets. Their rooms are clean. You know, they've just played with every man. Imagine how useless toys would become if you could just go in there and make like the Ninja Turtles run around with you, and you could be like a director of your own movie and then like run around inside the movie with them. As I was saying, the potential here is fucking limitless. It is exciting. It's so immersive, and to think that this is in its infancy, that we're basically just getting started on this. As I said, fast forward the clock 10, 15, 20 years, you're gonna be in Ready Player One type of shit where you're literally fucking so immersed, it is your world. Now, some people might just be like, I don't like that at all. I don't want any part of that. Okay, that's fine. But there's gonna be plenty of us who think that's pretty fucking awesome. And I have that ability to enjoy both. I would love to go into the virtual real world, and I would love to be in the real world. I enjoy both a lot, and I would love to be in more of it. And I can't wait to check out more shit. Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. That's my highest recommendation. Blair Witch is cool. Vader Immortal's cool. Beat Saber's really fun for everybody. Definitely pick that up. It's like Fruit Ninja with lightsabers, and if you put some like Guitar Hero in there, you have to hit the things in the order, and you're with the... It's so fucking cool. Everything's amazing. Please check it out. I just think it's so amazing. I want to share it with everybody. And the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners game is so cool so far. And I can't wait to play more of it. I just can't wait to get more involved into it. But you guys I can't do it justice. You have to put it on for yourself, and you have to walk around and see what I'm talking about. The motion sickness, that kind of stuff. For me, I'm somebody who gets it very easily, and I haven't really been struggling with it too bad. I have little bits of it here and there, especially when you're like moving your character. And if you walk, your character will walk. The only thing you're limited by is the space of your room, so you can't really walk forever. But when you turn, it turns. If you turn around, it turns around. Like everything it's live. It's in the moment. So it's so fucking cool. It's so cool. I can't oversell it, as I said. Please check it out. Let me know if you do. Let me know if you have. And man, I love it so much. I love it so much. I'm so happy I picked one up. My kids love it, and I can't wait to check out more stuff with them. So let me know. Adios.